Well, welcome everyone to Love versus Hate. My name is Anne, and I am your old-fashioned nerd.
And I'm Emily, your mainstream millennial.
And on this podcast, Emily and I like to debate, and we like to argue about everything in life that we love and hate.
Anne, are you trying to speak slowly? Because I feel like you're like, hello, everyone. I am Anne.
Okay, come on. Our listeners are listening to us probably every week. Maybe this is your first episode. I don't know. But either way, I got to change it up sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, and I'm Emily, your mainstream millennial.
And if you're listening to this in double speed, you probably didn't hear anything we just said.
Hello.
Or maybe we're speaking in code.
Yeah, it's like one of those, there's a TikTok that's like, oh, listen to this in 3 times slow speed or something. And this person is actually saying the entire alphabet, but all you hear is, oh.
Whoa, no.
I don't know. I've never listened to it in slow speed, but like there's people reacting to it and they can hear it.
Whoa.
But we can't hear the slow speed and they're like, oh my gosh. Like it looks like they're like, oh my gosh, they actually said it.
You know what's crazy to me is like I don't have TikTok, but sometimes I'll get TikTok videos like on my Facebook feed or on YouTube or something. And I actually saw a trend that was going around that I was like laughing out loud at. I thought it was hilarious.
What?
It was women who would send their like boyfriend or husband into like Target or into a store to get a feminine product that didn't
Oh,
exist.
yeah. Yes. And they're like, I looked all over for the Hydra Blast 3000 or something.
My favorite was one guy who went for like the one it was like Femme Femme Fresh or something.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I was dying. I thought that was
the best.
amazing.
Also the ones where they're in the Starbucks drive-thru and the girl's like, oh, can you order me a pinkity drinkity? And he's like, hi, how you doing? Can I get one pinkity drinkity? And he's like, sure, do you want anything else-ity? And then he's like, is this real?
Yes. So thank you, TikTok. I'm not subscribed to you. I don't have your app.
Subscribed.
I don't know how these things work. You know me, I'm old fashioned.
It's okay, you guys. I show Anne the funniest ones.
Yeah, I just rely on Emily for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, what are we talking about this episode?
Okay, so we had this fun idea. We'll see if it's really fun or not because obviously we don't.
We're trying it.
We're giving it a try. Okay, so here's the idea.
Yep.
We were like, okay, let's pick a random year and look up the most popular or one of the most popular shows from that year and watch it.
Yeah.
And so that way Anne and I don't know what year or show was picked. I had Alex, my husband, so weird to say still, pick it. And he wrote it on a piece of paper. Can you hear the paper? And we're going to see what it is.
Yeah, so we're going in completely blind. It could be a nerd thing. It could be a millennial thing. It could be a neither. It could be a both. We have no idea.
Yeah, because normally what we do is I would pick something or Anne would pick something and the other one would probably hate it. But we have no idea what this is and I'm really nervous.
I'm excited.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, it's 2010.
Okay, so
I was thinking like the 1980s or something. For some reason.
1980s.
Anyways.
What is it?
Survivor on Netflix.
I love Survivor!
Wait, is that just like the reality show Survivor?
I don't know.
Or is it a different show that I don't know about?
If it is Survivor, the reality show, I would be excited. I will say I haven't watched recent stuff. I watched Pearl Islands, which is by far the best season.
You would know the seasons.
Yeah. I've watched Survivor.
Oh, wait,
Pearl Islands is the best.
Okay. I'm thinking of The Great American Race.
The Amazing Race.
Yeah, I was thinking of Amazing Race,
and
then I was thinking of Fear Factor. But is Survivor where they go to an island instead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I have seen seasons that I really love. I've seen some that I'm like, it kind of like it's up and down for me. But Pearl Island is by far the best season. It is so good. It's genuinely like entertaining and amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah. Okay. So have you seen that whole season? What is the goal of Survivor? Like, Is there a winner at the end?
Yeah, so the whole idea is that you're the last person standing. So basically, they split into 2 teams. They take a random group of, well, obviously, they're not completely random, like you sign up for this and you audition and whatnot. But
Hey, we're taking you on an island.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
So they get a group of people, they split them into 2 teams, and for a while, like, you compete, and if you lose... well, there's 2 different challenges. There's the reward challenge. So like you might get like supplies, you might get a really good dinner because they're living on islands like on their own means, basically.
Yeah.
Like they're legitimately trying to survive and it's a 30-day thing. So it's like a whole month. And so they start as teams, but eventually once they get whittled down to, and every episode someone gets voted off the island. And that can be for multiple reasons.
Okay, now I remember when they like write on the thing and they're like,
yes.
I'm voting for this person, and they put it in the little box. Okay.
Yep, you vote somebody off. Yep.
Okay.
And so the whole idea is to be the last person. So once it's down to 3 people, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2. Usually it's 2, actually. Once it's down to 2 people, rather than voting for the person off, the jury will vote for who they want to win. So
the jury?
Yeah, so it starts as 2 teams. Slowly they, vote people off. And eventually there comes a point where they merge. And it's usually like at that point, maybe there's 5 people on each team. They merge to now they're 10. And now it's every man for himself. There's no longer teams. Mm-hmm. And at that point, if you get to the merge point and you get voted off, you become a member of the jury. And then you actually get to vote for who wins.
But then you get to stay in a hotel?
Yes. Yeah. They actually, so the jury, everyone else who gets voted off early gets sent home, and they actually like go back home and they're done.
Yeah.
But the jury actually stays on the island, and they're in a nice hotel and everything, and they like live there for a little while, and then because they have to go to trial whenever they vote somebody off, because the jury will sit and they'll watch their peers, the people who voted them off. It's very, that's what I like about it, because there's a lot of drama that happens, and it's very fun.
Yeah, I don't think that I've seen a whole season. I think I've probably seen like 3 episodes maybe in my life.
Okay.
And it's just like really random. I don't know why I was watching them. I wonder if it was on ABC, if it's an ABC show, maybe that's why. Because I was like waiting for The Bachelor to come on or something. I just remember one where they're like, it's raining and they had to make a hut with leaves. That's all I remember.
I just love when this happens. This is my favorite, like, Emilyisms or whatever you want to call it. Like, what you described is literally every season, almost every episode. Like, it was raining and they had to build a hut with leaves. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Okay, well, snap. Well, I'm excited. Are we going to pick a random season or the season in 2010?
Probably the 2010 one.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was a stupid question. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Are we going to survive?
If it's Pearl Island, I'm going to be so excited.
If it's
the
what?
best. Pearl Island.
Oh, sorry.
After we watch it, listeners, I'll tell you about Pearl Island. We'll see. We'll let you know what it is. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Emily and I just watched Survivor Cagayan. Cagayan?
Yeah, we're not exactly sure how to say the name, but it's season 28.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't think any season from 2010 was on here, but we'll just,
To be fair, I'm pretty sure we gave decades when you were giving it to Alex. I'm pretty sure you gave him a decade, like the 2010s.
Maybe, I don't know.
Either way,
We'll just go with it.
We'll go with that.
We watched season 28, episode 1,
Yes.
Cagayan, or whatever it's
Cagayan.
called.
Yeah, there was also on Netflix, for any listener interested, there's also Heroes versus Villains, which I actually really recommend. I've seen that season. It's very good. Not as good as Pearl Island, but there's some Pearl Island players on that season. Very good. Highly recommend. It's a good one.
Wow.
But anyway, before that reason, we decided to go with Cagayan or Cagayan or whatever.
Yeah. So, basically...
surmise.
Okay. So there was 3 teams. There was the Brains, the Bronze, and...
Beauty.
The Beauty. Oh, yeah. I was going to say the Bodies. Beauty.
The Bodies.
And so they get to the island, and immediately they have to choose a leader. And then immediately the leader has to choose the weakest one from their team. And so then the person that is the weakest on each of the 3 teams gets to go on the chopper to the island where their huts are or whatever. And then they get to decide. They have a little note there that says you can either stay here and wait for your team and get a second bag of rice, or you can go use this clue and find immunity.
Mm-hmm.
And the brains guy goes to find immunity.
Finds it.
And finds it. The brawn girl decides she wants to wait for her team and get the rice. And the beauty girl decides she wants immunity, but she can't find it and her team gets there. So she just pretends that everything that she just got for free, she actually picked for her team.
Yeah, like, hope you guys liked the rice and the fishing and the boat that I picked out for you. And it's like, yeah, that came with it. Good cover, though. Decent.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
A little bit of brains in that beauty.
Yeah. My favorite part was definitely the challenge, because immediately I told Emily, I'm like, Brains is going to lose. Because I think the problem with when you stereotype the tribes that way, and it's like, oh, we're the brains, like everyone in the tribe feels like they're the smartest person, and they're not working as a team. And as soon as you're not working as a team, you fail. And so they did. They failed miserably.
Yeah, they didn't get anything.
They didn't get
except
anything.
for not immunity.
Yeah, and the leader, spoiler alert, got voted out on the first episode.
Yeah,
The guy
LOL.
got picked as the leader. So yeah, rough life.
Yeah,
But,
and actually, the beauty won the challenge.
yeah, they got first. It was exciting. Yeah.
So exciting.
Emily was very excited. She was like, yay, beauty. So it's kind of, that's the thing I like about Survivor, is they do kind of interesting social experiments. You know, they had, I mean, heroes versus villains. They bring back people from a bunch of, like, all of the seasons. Well, not all of the seasons, but they bring back people from past seasons.
Yeah.
And they pick, like, people who were kind of heroes and the ones who were more villainous. And it just kind of, I love the social experiment that goes on with Survivor. That's one of the reasons I like it. I definitely think also, yeah, this one with, like, the brains, brawn, beauty is also another, like, interesting social experiment that I think would be kind of cool.
So in every season, do they do different types of teams?
No, that's kind of become a more recent thing, just to try and change the game up a little bit. In the early game, they were picked much more just like the producers would like separate the teams to try and give them a mix of both.
Okay.
So like on Pearl Island, which is my favorite season because it's the best season, one of the things that made Pearl Island so special is they tried a lot of new techniques and like new ideas for the show, and it worked really well. One of which I think they've done on other seasons, but it's not as common, and it wasn't on this one. But on Pearl Island, they literally gave them the clothes on their back. They were on a ship. They were all dressed in really nice like dresses and suits because they were doing a photo shoot. So they didn't know their teams or anything. The game hadn't officially started. They're on this boat. They're thinking that they're going to like do this photo op. And Jeff Probst, who's one of my favorite hosts in, any kind of reality TV. I love him. He's awesome. He comes out and he's like, the game begins now. And they all like kind of lurking there, like they're excited. And he's like, you have the clothes on your backs. And literally one of the girls is wearing a strapless dress. He's like, yeah. He's like, hope you have something under there. And she's like, no. Like it's funny, you know. But yeah, like they literally get the clothes on their backs. They have to jump ship and go. They do get like, basically, they get a bag of money. They have to jump ship and they have to swim to this like island or this village on the island, and they have an opportunity to like buy supplies, which I think is kind of fun. It's a little bit different, and it's like one of my favorite moments in Survivor history. Rupert, who's a player, he was wearing like thick, heavy jeans, and like he's a bigger guy, and so by the time he like finished swimming to this village, like he was wiped out, and he's like, dudes, I got to just sit for a minute, and take a breather. So they had these rafts that had like their shoes and like I think it was just their shoes and maybe a couple, like a bag of some personal items, but it was like it was literally like nothing. But so they had this raft, and he had pulled the raft up, and he's sitting next to it, and he's just sitting, and he's like, yeah, just give me a moment. And the other team comes up and pulls their raft and sets it right next to him, and then I'll leave. They just left. And Rupert kind of like looks around, and he's like, because the whole thing with Pearl Islands was like pirate, right? They got shipwrecked. That's why they had to jump ship. And so he like looks around and he takes the other team's shoes. He takes their shoes and they use it to get more, like they sell them to get more.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
He's just like, he looks around and he's like, yeah, I just took their shoes. I mean, he left like the tennis shoes, but he took all their fancy shoes, like the heels and stuff. Like he left the tennis shoes, but I just love that moment. It's one of my favorites. So it was a really good season. They also did I think that might have been the first time they actually introduced immunity idols. If it wasn't that season, it was shortly after. But yeah, they had just like a bunch of new techniques they were trying. It was really fun. A lot of the players were really good. So I know that wasn't the season we watched, but I just wanted to plug it because if you're going to watch Survivor, watch Pearl Island.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's not on Netflix, so we don't know where you can watch it.
Yeah. Our family owns the DVD set.
Okay. Well, go to Anne's house, Anne's mom and dad's house.
Yes, my parents' house.
Yeah.
Did you love Survivor, Emily? What was your overall thought?
So I wouldn't say I loved it, but I want to keep watching. Like, it made me want to continue watching.
Yeah.
So there's potential.
Yeah. And the thing with me and Survivor is, like I said, I love Pearl Island. I'd have to watch Heroes and Villains again. It's been a little while, but I remember loving it when I watched it. So I probably would again. But it's a fun, like I said, I like the social experiment aspect. And, it is like they do have to actually survive on this island. Like, a lot of them will lose a lot of weight and like get, like malnourished a little bit.
Yeah.
They obviously have. I always love learning behind the scenes on this show in particular, too, because like apparently, I don't remember what season it was, but they have a camera crew obviously there all the time. And the camera crew has like their own tents and they have their own like setup and everything. And apparently one season, the players like broke into their tents and stole like a bunch of their supplies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're desperate.
They were, yeah, apparently. So yeah, they actually now, I'm pretty sure they keep the crew, like they have a setup there, but they don't actually, like, because the crew used to live on the island with them just in their own area. But I'm pretty sure now they just keep some stuff, but then they also like, live off like in a different part where the players
can't have to survive out there with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would never be able to do what these people do.
Oh, I know.
Because I'm like, I can't deal with all of these different people who think that they're amazing.
It would stress me just so much.
Yeah. And also the spiders and the snakes, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh, but you guys, I might have watched this episode because there was rain and they had to build a covering with leaves.
So this could have been the episode Emily watched.
Yeah. The thunder started and I was like, did you hear that?
I know, she's like, it's going to rain. Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about our prediction for who's going to win this season.
Yeah, I have no idea. I believe he was a Braun. His name was Woo.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to win.
I think he's going to win too.
It was funny because Anne, like before we started filming this section or recording this section, Anne was like, I don't know who's going to win. Maybe I'll pick Woo. And I was like, oh, in my head, I was like, I have already chosen Woo. Because, yeah, he's a Braun. So he has the build. I think he's a, what are those people called when they do martial artist?
Yeah, he's a martial artist. Yeah,
he's a martial artist, and so I'm like, okay, so he has the strength, but I also feel like martial artists have to be really like good with their mind because they have to think fast. They also have to like think about what other people are thinking. Like, I feel like he has the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and we didn't see a whole lot of him this episode. He was very minor, but even just the tiny bit we saw, he seemed very personable and like low key. And I mean, there's different ways to play the game, which is another reason why I like Survivor. Like, people play it differently and people win for different reasons. But I find that the people who are kind of low key tend to get the furthest and also end up winning because they don't make any enemies. And like, if you can stay kind of low key, it is important to like be decisive. And there's certain moments where like you need to stand your ground and make a key play. But I feel like someone like him could do that where, yeah, he stays kind of low key, doesn't ruffle any feathers, but then in like a decisive moment can like make the decision that could win him the game.
Yeah, maybe when we release this episode, we'll let you guys know if we were right.
Yeah.
Because we don't know yet, but we're definitely going to find out.
Yeah, because I like Survivor. I think it's a really fun show. It's like one of those game/reality shows that I actually like and will watch. There's not a lot, but
yeah, it does. I mean, the heroes versus villains season, I mean, granted, I've never seen the season, but it does remind me a lot of Hell's Kitchen because they had a season where they brought back, I don't know if it was winners and losers of like past seasons. Oh, wait, no, they had 2 teams. One team was brand new people, and one team was like star players from past seasons who didn't win.
Oh,
and so they were like, oh, we're going to win because we already know what Hell's Kitchen is like.
I bet they failed.
Yeah. I think they did.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
That's the intrigue.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So what did you think about getting surprised with Survivor? I was excited because I already knew the show and I knew I loved it. But
yeah, I think it was kind of a happy medium because I really love reality TV show, but this wasn't like reality TV show like I normally watch, and Anne had interest in it already. So I feel like it was a happy medium for the 2 of us.
Yeah, it was one we could both enjoy.
Yeah.
We don't always get those.
Great job, Alex. Great job, 2010 pig.
So what is your life lesson?
My life lesson is never judge a book by its cover. AKA, don't judge people. If they're pretty, they're probably like able to do stuff that you don't think they're capable of. And same with brains or whoever.
Yeah, I think that's a very good one.
What about you?
For me, my life lesson, I think, has to be that a team is going to get you way further than by yourself. And if you are tackling a problem like building a shelter, even if you're literally a nuclear engineer and you're like, I know what I'm doing, like utilize your team and the multiple people on your, like utilize creativity and multiple minds, because if you're going at it single-minded, it's just not going to work. So
yes,
utilize a team.
Yeah, so you guys should let us know if you like Survivor. If you have seen this season, how do you pronounce this season?
Yeah, because I have no idea.
I don't know.
Send us can you send us like a voice recording through Instagram DM, or I don't know, somehow. Let us know. Or let us know what your favorite season is. Have you seen Pearl Island? Let us know. And you can let us know on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can also find us on YouTube. You can also email us at lovevshatepodcast@gmail.com and let us know. Do you like Survivor? What's your thoughts?
And should we make this kind of episode like a series where we randomly pick years and movies or TV shows that we watch? Was this interesting? Let us know. We just want all the questions answered. We're so curious.
Yes.